Dad does. Hello, it's Tina Wiles, the founder of My Tutor. And today I'm going to talk about dealing with high pressure situations. So, a lot of the research that I've done around this has to deal with athletes in dealing with high pressure situations because we know that they are often put in high pressure situations. Olympic athletes, professional athletes, and a lot of what my students experience when they're taking high pressure exams can feel like the pressure that you're under in those high pressure situations in athletics. So just wanted to let you know where a lot of this is coming from. And there are a couple techniques. There's actually over 20 that I know of, but I'm just going to go through 3 tonight that can help when you're feeling anxiety in those situations. So anxiety is like in the future, and you're not sure what's going to happen, and right, test results, all that kind of stuff. So the more that you can stay in the present moment, the better you're going to feel. Okay, so one thing that you can do is if you are starting to feel panicky, even thinking about the exam or before an exam is handed out, is to be in the present moment. And one way that you can do that is looking for things that you can use your senses. So, what are 3 things that you could see? What are 3 things that you can smell? What are 3 things that you can touch? What are 3 things that you can hear? Okay. And going through that process is going to bring you into the present moment and calm you down. Breath is extremely important, which I've talked about in other videos. So I'm really not going to touch too deeply on that here, but deep breaths, slow, deep breaths is the fastest way to help bring yourself out of the fight or flight mode that we end up in when we're feeling the anxiety. Another thing that you could do to deal with the high pressure situations is to reflect back on times that you've been in high pressure situations in the past and you've had a favorable outcome. Okay. And the more detailed that you can get in your reflection or reliving the memory, the more that it's going to remind you and your body what it feels like to have the positive outcome in those stressful situations. So the more vivid you could get with what did it feel like? What was the weather like? What were you wearing, right? Go through all of the details that you can from that pressure situation. So maybe like for me, one's college graduation, right? Like the culmination of I made it through graduating from University of Michigan. I made it through thermodynamics, which if you know me, that was a very difficult class for me to get through and able to graduate. I can picture it was pouring down rain and the water was pouring down from my tassels, right? Like the more detailed, it was cold. It was just soaking wet. My shoes were soaked, right? Like the more detailed you can get, the better. And then the third thing, well, I guess it's really fourth because I mentioned breathing, is this is going to sound odd, but squeezing your left hand. All right. So what I mean by that is when you're in stressful situations and overthinking, right? Like maybe getting stuck on something or right, like really overthinking it. Squeezing your left hand is supposed to activate the right side of your brain and pull you out of overthinking, right? And it's because the right side of our brain controls the left side of our body and vice versa. Left side of the brain controls the right side of the body. And the left side of your brain is the analytical, logical side. The right side of your brain is the more creative. So studies have shown that if you squeeze your left hand, it actually pulls you out of the overthinking and into the more creative side of your brain. So if you try it out, let me know. I hope these tips helped. If you are wondering if you have test anxiety to the point that it is affecting the outcome of an exam, you could check out our quick quiz at testanxietyquiz.com, and it will tell you if you have a healthy amount of anxiety or if it's something that you might want to look for some assistance with. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.